pretty easily, you know. And after you get out of the torque band, it does kind of lose. There you go. All right, howdy, welcome back to the channel. Got a slightly different one for you today. This is a 2010, I believe it's a C207 E350 coupe, which is kind of an interesting spec since I don't really see a whole lot of E350 coupes. And yeah, we're just gonna kind of go over it, take it for a test drive, and kind of see what it's all about. So this is a car that we are taking in on consignment. It's going to be for sale. It's yeah, so like I said, 2010 black on black E350 coupe. So that is a 3.5 naturally aspirated V6 that makes around 270-ish horsepower and some number of torque that's probably fairly comparable. This body style never really did it for me. I think it's in that kind of oddball year of Mercedes where the interiors hadn't yet really caught up to the rest of the market. I mean, 2010 was just, you had most of the technology that you kind of see in more modern cars today, but just really wasn't at the spec or at the, I guess, seamless quality as we kind of see in more modern models. You know, I think these are kind of plagued with the, you know, I can see what they were trying to do design-wise with the headlights kind of harkening back to the older pillarless models, but the overall kind of C-shaped design language, everything kind of loops into each other because it looks more like the larger CL coupe, but it's smaller and has a weaker engine and doesn't look as sporty. So again, looks aren't really here nor there. I know they made a C-Class coupe as well that, again, again, you can see what they're trying to do, but I don't think it works as well as the other models in the lineup. You know, this kind of old-timey line over the rear arch is an odd one. The split headlights that kind of go back onto the fenders are interesting. But overall, again, it's a black-on-black Mercedes coupe that actually drives a lot better than I anticipated. I don't really know what else to go on about it. I mean, here's the exterior. This particular car has some bumps and bruises. It was owned by a local customer who just wants to sell it. Has a bunch of cars. I mean, I think this is probably the best angle of it right here. This back. Again, it is a pillarless coupe, which is, you know, it really enhances the design in that aspect. But other than that, it's not a sporty car. I mean, it feels sportier than, you know, kind of the old shit boxes that I drive around, but so I'm not the best judge of that character, but, you know, it cleans up well. You know, the interior is pretty handsome. It has very light steering. These tires, I think they're Michelin's. What are they? Yep, newer Michelin's that feel great, and that really, it kind of cheats as far as a car's handling and how it feels when it has newer tires on it. But, you know, actually decent sized back seat. You know, the interior cleans up well. You know, you do have a small infotainment system, but again, it's black on black. You know, you've got nice finish on the buttons. I don't really like how these seats feel. I mean, they are slightly sporty, but really nothing to tell your friends about. Sound system's good. It has this full glass moonroof deal, which I know they're prone to leaking. I haven't checked to figure out if this one leaks yet, but I've got a feeling that it might due to some stainings on the A-pillar there. So that's really all I got exterior-wise. Let's fire it up and take it for a walk around and spin. All right, keys in it. I just cleaned the engine, so it's got a little belt squeak to it. But one of the surprising things about this car is it sounds deeper than most V6s. Maybe it's the dual exhaust, but let's, you know. I mean, it definitely sounds like a V6, but when you're inside, I don't know if this pipes in to have, you know, enhanced motor sounds. 2010, that's probably before they started doing it, but, you know, you can definitely feel something there. If you get in, again, very nice interior. You forget how, even though this is 11-year-old car at this point, everything is pretty nice. How it's laid out. This early Mercedes command system was a little bit odd. I don't really know how to get into it. They've got the antiquated, dual purpose stereo phone deal. There's a sport button. I don't know what it does. Probably just some electronic shift things. Got that little coffee symbol, which I have no idea what that is. What else? It's typical MB on the inside. You got your steering wheel controls mounted on the door panel. Everything else feels good. Very light steering. 7-speed automatic transmission. And that's really about it. I mean, again, it does feel nice in here. It does feel higher quality than I kind of remembered Mercedes of this era feeling. So I really can't complain about anything in that side of things. Back seat looks nice and sporty, but more importantly, let's take this out for a spin. See how it feels like. Rain yesterday in the rear end. I think it locks up. I was able to get sideways pretty easily, And after you get out of the torque band, it does kind of lose. There you go. I don't know if you heard that, but yeah, a little tire squeal and then a strong uptake into first, second shift. So, if you're not looking for something super sporty, but that can move out of its own way, this fits the bill. I mean, that's really the buyer that they were appealing to with this type of car. I mean, you can use the flappy paddles. They're very slow. This is Mercedes 7-speed, which is extremely smooth, and it's great as a Mercedes. But again, nothing insanely sporty. It's really the buyer that they were appealing to with this type of car. I mean, you can use the flappy paddles. They're very slow. This is Mercedes 7-speed, which is extremely smooth, and it's great as a Mercedes. But again, nothing insanely sporty or anything. We are checking out that Volvo 240 wagon up there. Mustang Mach-E guy just waved his finger at me. It's not bad looking. I get it. This guy's got an interesting collection of old and new Mercedes. But yeah, so again, 90,000 miles on this car. Steering feels nice and tight. Again, that's really probably due to the newer tires. Suspension, no clunks or anything. It feels tight and fairly new. I was very surprised when I got in it because the car didn't have much maintenance history. But again, it's got some bumps and bruises all around. But mechanically, it feels very strong, very good. No slack in the drivetrain or anything like that. Track straight, doesn't need an alignment, which, most cars do. I feel like most people slack on the alignment side of any type of automotive maintenance. But this one feels good. And I was pretty surprised on how it drove. Super smooth on the highway too, no vibrations or anything crazy like that. And yeah, I mean, I get it. If I was looking for something like this, it would 100% fit the bill and overall surprise me as a driving experience. Yeah, I understand why people bought these and why they still buy them. And even though the depreciation is horrendous, if you keep up with the maintenance, you still feel like you're driving a nice car. And I think that's really what it comes down to when people purchase these later model 10, 15, 5-year-old BMW, Mercedes, and Audis. It's unfortunate, but some people don't realize what depreciation does to a car's value or how to repair things, All right, so I think that about wraps it up for this 2010 E350. I think I found the angle here. It does look better from this angle than it did in my driveway. So it's yeah, I mean, this is the look. This is how it should be presented, and you can still see the appeal of it. Again, it's not a super interesting car. It's not an AMG. I don't even think they made an AMG for the E-Class Coupe. I think they did the C-Class and the larger models above that. I can't even keep track of Mercedes anymore. But yeah, again, overall, it's a fun little car. you know, if I was looking for something as a weekend driver that was like this, I wouldn't have any issue with it. It seems pretty high quality. And this one really does need nothing. So if you're interested in it, let me know. It is for sale. It is a consignment car, so the owner does want around 11 grand for it. But yeah, that's really about it, guys. If you have any comments about it or I screwed something up, let me know below in the comments, and appreciate you watching. I'm gonna go continue driving this thing around. See ya.